Gladiator on Instagram, I will have my vengeance. LeBron's caption, count me out if you want. Chris, do you trust that LeBron will have the Lakers back in the title mix next season?
Yeah, they're pretty good. They have a good core. They struggled with injury this whole year. I think we can all agree on that one. Coming right back off from last season, which is no excuse. This is the name of the game. Coming off of winning the championship in the bubble and then coming right back in this season, I could only imagine. I'm pretty sure it was grueling. But with that said, they dealt with injuries. They really never got off the ground, in my opinion. And even when they were beginning to play well, that's when Bron went down with that high ankle sprain. And, look, they're going to have to get better. I think we all kind of saw them get stagnant. They never really developed an identity on offense. Defensively, everything was intact. They just have to add a few pieces, most likely, and really just get better at what they have. If they hadn't have run into all of these injuries, they'd probably still be playing right now. But with that said, I'm sure that LeBron is motivated. It's good to be motivated. It's good to be in a position you have never been in before because, that makes for a great offseason for training.
Chris, when you watched the Lakers in the playoffs this year, LeBron made it clear he was like, I'm out there. I'm not going to talk about the ankle. I'm not going to use it as an excuse. Did you look at LeBron as, he's the 60,000 minutes, year 18's finally caught up with him a bit? Or was it more his ankle ain't right? Like, what were you seeing as a guy who's played with him?
Yeah, they're all a factor, right? We're getting up there in the years and minutes played. It's never been done before. He's played the most minutes in the history of the game, right? So that has to be a factor. But, if you've ever had a high ankle sprain, it really hurts. And it's very tough to come back from. And you're going to deal with some pain trying to play with it. And you could see, you could tell that he was not 100%. He was favoring that ankle a little bit. And he was still able to be a little bit explosive, score in the mid to high 20 points per game. Unfortunately, his team needed more. So I expect him to really take care of his body this year. I think they all need to get healthy. That's the most important thing, especially AD. He's going to have to start, finding that fountain of youth because he's at that part in his career where, he's playing so well, but now he has to get used to the load and managing that load and really preparing your body for that 82-game schedule plus the playoffs. So we'll see how they respond.
All right, Chris, we all like to play on prime time. Football players, we want to play in front of Joe Buck. We want to play in front of Troy. We want them calling our games. You guys, TNT, big time, prime time game for you guys, Shaquille O'Neal and the boys being able to cover their games. LeBron James, that's easy for us, right, to get up for prime time games. He's going into year 19? What does he have left to prove? Do you believe he still have that that desire to still compete every single day in practice, in the weight room, at the table, pushing away the chocolate and all the bad stuff from a nutritional standpoint? Does he still have that desire?
I think he does. And look, it would have been a different conversation if they were still competing right now. When you're in a position where you have to hear everyone saying that you've never lost in the first round and then you lost in the first round. Look, LeBron is a competitor. He doesn't like to, he does not like to lose. It's not fun. It's not a fun environment if you're losing. And so if he didn't have any fire under him, well, I think now he does. And you were saying it, Brandon, pushing yourself in the weight room. I write about that in my book. You have to take care of your body. He's built that up to a habit. And it's a great habit to have. Now it's just adding the extra fuel behind those workouts, behind getting your work done on the court and making sure you're being a great teammate. He's going to have to find that thing. And I think he's found it. And you know what? Let's be frank. He needs some rest. It's nothing wrong with rest. I got plenty of rest when I was in the beginning of my years when we weren't making the playoffs in Toronto. Right. And it did my body great, So
that's interesting.
I think they'll be in a position where they can really get something going and most importantly, get healthy.
Chris, how long do you think LeBron can be the king or be sort of like an elite level player? Because one of the silver linings I thought of this Sun series, and oddly this high ankle sprain, was we got to see what LeBron looks like when he wasn't finishing at the rim, when he wasn't going to the hole and drawing fouls, when he's distributing and is like out on the 3-point line. And I thought, although it wasn't successful right now, I did think it was a little preview of that we could see LeBron at 40. Do you think he could play to 40 and have a Tom Brady-esque type career?
I think he can, if he wants to. Now, as far as like playing at a high level, the number one option, that'd be pretty tough because that's so demanding night in and night out. But as he gets older, he can definitely be one of those guys, to give you sparks from time to time. He's always going to be able to be a distributor, and he's going to be able to get, 25, 26 points rolling out of bed. It's that next level. It's the 30 to 35 a night. That might be a challenge. Not to say that he can't do it, but it won't be as consistent as before because, Father Time is undefeated, right? So look for them to add. That's why I say look for the Lakers to add pieces, because if they can get someone else to kind of lighten the scoring load and the distribution, he'll be able to sustain his level of play for a little bit longer. But, at a very high level, the way he's capable of playing, 2 years, maybe at least one more year. I think that'll be an exciting thing because he's really getting into uncharted territory. I mean, MJ was at the top of his game at 36. LeBron is 36 now. I'm sure he's trying to break new ground as an athlete and as a competitor. So I definitely look for him to have a stellar season next year because of the perfect mix of rest, motivation from losing, and just wanting to get back out there and prove that he could still play at a high level in this league.
Yeah, and I'll have a longer offseason to rest up and do that. Hey, Chris, you got a new book out. It looks awesome, by the way. It's called Letters to a Young Athlete. Can you tell us a little bit about it?